Okay, so we were going to bring you the newest episodes of Queens of the Ring.
3 months ago. Yeah, so summer happened.
Halloween.
King of the Hill was released on Hulu.
I had to wash my hair.
My cat had diarrhea.
I still have diarrhea.
Anyways, we've missed you guys, and I hope you guys have missed us.
Oh my God, it's so good to be back.
I know, it feels great. And in this brand new studio.
I know, and we are so caught up on wrestling, you guys. I swear, we know exactly what's going on in the world of wrestling right now.
We totally have watched every single episode of everything.
AEW SmackDown, I have not missed one episode.
No, not a single one. Is The Undertaker still the champion?
I think it is Jinder Mahal.
Oh, okay.
My name is Jaymes Mansfield.
And I'm Sylvia Hicks.
And you're watching
Queens of the Ring! And today's episode is a very special one to us. We're counting down our choices. Top 5 dream matches. We might even tell you a little bit about how we would build the match, too. Ooh.
I was lip syncing to you.
Were you?
I was.
Oh.
But this is like the Adam Blampier, how I would have booked it, only without all the problematic stuff.
Yeah.
What is your number 5?
My number 5. Sometimes, I don't usually like hardcore wrestling, but sometimes I get a little bloodthirsty, and I want to see two people just fucking kill each other. So my choice for number 5 is Katsuyori Shibata versus Big Van Vader in a death match.
God damn it, Sylvia, you're just not throwing me any bones here. No, I'm kidding. I know who Vader is.
So Shibata is a really, really intense Japanese wrestler who retired because semi-retired. I don't know if he's fully in retirement now. He once, headbutted somebody, and it was so hard that it, literally cracked his skull.
And Vader, the Sandy Duncan of wrestling, one eye.
Right. And he also... So these two would just absolutely brutalize the living hell out of each other. And to be honest, I haven't really thought about a storyline that I would put them in. Maybe throw them in a rehashed, King of the Deathmatch tournament. And then
throw them in, a cage of, rabid wombats and see who leaves unscathed.
Yeah. Replace the ring ropes with just glass.
Or wombats on a rope.
Oh, wombats on a rope. I feel like PETA would step in. Does PETA exist in Japan?
I don't know.
I hope not.
Let us know, Japanese fans.
Yes.
It exists there.
What's your number 5, girl?
My number 5 is actually,
Ooh.
I want to see a Twitter beef actually become a legitimate beef in WWE.
Are you still on your beef with Lacey Evans?
No, I am not.
Okay.
I have moved on. She was just in Milwaukee. I called her out. She didn't say nothing. She didn't want the smoke, so it's fine. It is fine.
Lacey Evans chickened out?
Yeah.
Oh.
Believe it. Because it totally happened. But no, I'm saying, I love that wrestlers are always going back and forth on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's where it really goes down, folks.
Mm-hmm.
All the real promos happen on Twitter.
All the real tea.
I want to see something, completely blow up and brew from Twitter and just go all the way into, actual storyline.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I might have an orgasm if you say it. Is it Seth Rollins versus Kenny Omega? Yes! Oh my god, that's been a dream match since, Kenny Omega, was kind of hinting at joining possibly WWE.
WWW.
Before AEW, before he confirmed that.
Back when Vince McMahon Sr. owned it.
Yeah, right.
WWF.
What I'm saying is, before Kenny Omega finally admitted that he was going to AEW, I could just
Seth Rollins
picture
versus anyone.
Well, listen, Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay. I don't need to see that in a wrestling ring.
We need to see that on clips for sale.
Yes. My number 4 would be Awesome Kong versus Bayley circa 2017. And here's the thing. We've seen these David versus Goliath storylines a lot, but the thing that I would love to see about it, you have Bayley, who was this blue chipper underdog who is I can do this, I can prove to the world that it doesn't matter who the opponent is, I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna be the best that I can be, and then Awesome Kong steps in. I just think it would be a great uphill battle, and I personally have not always been a huge fan of Bayley. But I like her character arc, and I like that she's such an inspiration to little girls. And Awesome Kong is the essential, the antithesis of who she is.
Yeah, and I have to say, we got a great taste of that David and Goliath storyline with Kong and Gil Kim.
Mhm.
But for those of you who aren't in the know, like you didn't see those matches because it happened on just a small platform like
Right.
TNA. To see it happen like a bigger thing like WWE,
Right.
it is such a story to be told.
Well, and not to mention, like, I feel like Gail Kim had already proven herself in certain aspects too.
Yeah.
Whereas like Bayley circa 2017, yes, we all saw her great work in like NXT, but we were just seeing
That, and you've never saw
Yeah.
a storyline of that scale and with that kind of dedication and nurturement in WWE ever.
right.
My number 4 is actually, this is a storyline I wanted to see ever since I was a little kid. It involves the women's division back in the 90s.
Okay.
I would have loved to see the eras of, you know, your Litas and your the Cats and all of them. Like, all these women, I would have loved to see a revolt happen against the bra and panties matches.
Ooh.
Like, women take a stand and say, we're not going to take it anymore. Like, a full-on, like, women's revolt.
Ooh.
Divas in revolt. Like,
That sounds like
could you imagine, like, if they were booked for a bra and panties match and, like, they came out and just, like, got in the ring in their sexy costumes and just, like, got right out and walked back?
I would love that. I would absolutely love it. But do you think that the fans of the time would attach themselves to that kind of storyline?
Probably not. But you know what? It would have made a statement.
It
that
would have
was a
been
lot more.
great in 2014.
2014, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it needed to happen then because,
Right.
like, you look at it, it has not aged well.
No, it hasn't. It's terrible. The way that women were booked in the late 90s and early 2000s was a joke.
And even when I was a little kid, I was like, why are they doing this?
Right.
And I'm like, what are you proving by doing
It's
this?
not
It
wrestling.
really sucks
Yeah.
for you. And I would love to have seen them basically say, like, we're not going to take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
that shit carried on all the way
Mhm.
up and through 2013, just
Ugh.
about.
Yeah. Thank God for Paige. Thank God for Give Divas a Chance. Yeah. 10 years too late, but still. I love that. My number 3. Now this takes a little bit of imagination, right?
Okay.
The Four Horsemen versus Evolution. I would love to see this kind of like dichotomy of like
You're
what?
You're like fantasy booking.
I am. I'm totally fantasy booking.
They were old men. Most of them were dead.
Sure. But like, imagine like, and that's the thing. Like, that's what's great about fantasy booking.
Yeah.
That's why we buy the video games.
It's true.
I would love to see like the Four Horsemen circa like 1996 when they had like, not saying that he's a good person, but like Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, those like that incantation of the Four Horsemen versus Evolution as of 2003, Batista, Randy Orton, Triple H. And I would love Ric Flair to be at the focal point of it, to see like what side is he on? Like, is he the hero or is he the villain? And granted, both of these factions were heels. I mean, Four Horsemen had their brief instances in late 90s WCW where they were total baby faces. But just think of that. Like, Ric Flair, woo! Ric Flair, who's an absolute legend, could do anything and make me believe it. He convinced me he was a good wrestler for how long? But I would love to see, like, Triple H at odds with Chris Benoit and saying, like, this faction is better because we represent the future, and the Four Horsemen is dated. It's an old bag. You guys are done. And Ric Flair, who's kind of like on the side, just playing both teams against each other without really choosing which one that he would want to pull
I can
through.
see him playing both sides of the fence. That could be a very, very engaging storyline.
Yeah. How about you? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually involving the cruiserweight division in
Okay.
WWE. I would have loved...
You're talking like the Jamie Noble Hurricane era?
No, current era.
Current. Okay.
Before 205 Live was canceled.
Sorry, I forget about the WWE Cruiserweight.
Most people
There's a
do.
lot. Yeah.
And it's a shame because there's some really great talent.
There are some great. I'm not disagreeing with you.
And some really fucking hot guys there.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
But I digress.
Yes.
This actually is not about the men. Well, a little bit. I would love to see Natalya Neidhart put inside the cruiserweight division.
Oh yes. and just fighting her way through. Well, she's a freaking heart.
Yeah.
Like the only woman to have graduated the heart dungeon.
Aside from Charlotte Flair, the only one I could see with the legacy behind her to back up being able to run in a cruiserweight division legitimately. Right. If you've seen Natalya work and actually watched her work,
she's good. She's fantastic in the ring. I'm going to say this. I think she's probably the most proficient wrestler in the women's division today.
And the problem with Natalya, the reasons why I think she doesn't really quite gel with the fans is because her character and Natalya, there's a disconnect there where you can tell Natalya is acting knowingly obtuse.
Right.
And she has to constantly dumb down what she does, her offense, in order to gel with the women's division.
Right.
And she's usually put in the Molly Holly role of working with girls that are far less experienced.
That and like there's been so much, like, Natalya is, like, the only woman who came from before the Give Divas a Chance movement, where we saw a lot of storylines involving Natalya that were less than flattering, that kind of tarnished her legacy for so long. But I would love to see a career renaissance for her to do exactly that. But why stop at the cruiserweights?
I would love to see, like...
Why not give her the Intercontinental?
Work. I said the cruiserweight because it's the most believable, like, step up from the women's division, where she could take on men that are around the same, like, body stature of her. Because it's a lot of, like, really handsome twinks in 205 Live.
Oh, yes.
So, I think it would be a great one, especially if, like, Neville was still there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Such a prick.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, beating her down all the time.
The king of the cruiserweights. I can just picture him, like, being a bit misogynistic and saying, like, I'm the king of the cruiserweights. And being able to pull it off. To be, like, so hateable where you want to see her succeed. Right. She can be the Daenerys Targaryen up until the finale.
She won't burn any cities to the ground.
No.
So, what is your number 2?
My number 2. So I love tag team wrestling. Obviously, I love these big story arcs that involve, like, multiple people. I want to put the 2 greatest legacies of professional wrestlers against each other. I want to see Los Guerreros versus Bret and Owen Hart.
Oh.
And here's the thing that I will absolutely love that to see in the storyline is you had Bret and Owen on one hand who were constantly fighting to see who the better brother was.
Yeah.
And then you have Los Guerreros, who, Eddie and Chavo being a nephew and uncle, who always got along up until, well, Kerwin White.
Things just got weird.
Right. Dominic on a ladder match. Yeah. We don't have to talk about those. People always say, like, who is the better family of wrestling? And what better way to actually put them...
Guerreros. What?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I do.
Okay,
I'm more of a Guerreros fan. But, like, what better way than to see these 2, like, teams fight each other? And what I would love to see in that is, in that match, if you have that moment of Owen's jealousy overcoming him, where he gets so mad at his brother that, like, Bret's reaching out for the blind tag and Owen says, no, I don't want to do this. And then he jumps down.
I
like,
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, I love the idea of who is the stronger family unit.
Right.
And who can get it together to make it work.
Right.
But I love especially Javo and Eddie's, I just miss the Guerreros.
I do too. I do a lot. And
we had such a good thing and just didn't appreciate it when we had it.
Right. Yeah, I wish that Eddie's career was longer than what we got.
Yeah.
I also wish that Owen's career was longer than what we got. Yeah.
Fucking Vince Russo.
I never thought we would get this emotional on Queens of the Ring.
I'll lighten the mood a bit. My number 2 is a bit more fun. I want to see, and this is me fantasy booking now, this is like your 4 Horsemen's, but my equivalent.
Sure. I'm sure yours is more coherent.
Mine's more current.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Maybe that's the word.
Didn't mean to interrupt. Yes.
But I want to see Joey Ryan.
Okay.
In NXT.
I thought you were going to say Joey Ryan versus Val Venus for a second.
Oh, no.
But I love that. I absolutely love that.
What could be better than basically putting the final nail in the coffin of the PG era? Surprise signing of Joey Ryan.
Right. Somebody who's made his entire career based solely on dicks. I would love that.
And it would never happen.
No, not in a million years.
And none of the intergender stuff would ever happen that he's known for.
Well,
or the lollipop
I
or
don't
any
know.
of that stuff.
Here's the thing. I think that if you do it right, Joey Ryan could make a great heel for the women's division in NXT. Yeah.
I see where you're going there.
But anyway, this is your fantasy booking.
No, I want to see the Kingsley. I don't care what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But I love where you're going there with antagonists in the women's division.
Just saying. I think he would be great. Like,
that's actually brilliant.
Yeah. Just
because, like, especially since like they've worked so hard to show that the women are athletic,
right?
And to have some guy come in and just be such
an asshole
or
a dick.
Yeah. But it would just make for a great storyline, which would be nice to have every now and again.
Yeah, especially coming from WWE Creative. Not saying that NXT is bad, but
I don't know. That's partly one of the most watchable things.
Yeah.
In the company right now.
Right. My number one, speaking of Eddie Guerrero and how his career was cut short and how I wish we would have seen more of him. My top fantasy match that I think would be just a moment of pure brilliance would be Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels in a ladder match for the WWE Championship. And here's how I would book it. Now, put your fantasy caps on because this is 12-year-old me speaking here.
Okay. Right.
You have the Eddie Guerrero JBL story arc.
Yes.
And JBL, unfortunately, came away the victor of that. And I hated that. I absolutely hated that. But say you get that one more match where JBL versus Eddie Guerrero. They're in Texas at like a SummerSlam, so it was dual branded, right? Because this was the brand split era, the original one. And in Texas, JBL says, "I'm the greatest Texan to ever wrestle." And Shawn, like, the camera cuts away to see Shawn Michaels, and he's given JBL, like, this incredibly dirty look, like, what the fuck did he just say? Because Shawn Michaels is the greatest Texas wrestler, other than Eddie Guerrero, of course. The end of the match, so the main event, you have Eddie Guerrero versus JBL. There's a ref bump, because what other way to set this up? And JBL is on the offensive, just absolutely brutalizing Eddie Guerrero. But then Shawn Michaels comes in, and super kicks the ever-loving fuck out of JBL.
Okay, I love JBL being kicked, yeah.
Yeah, Eddie crawls up, Shawn wakes the referee up, he pins he pins JBL, referee counts to 3, Eddie Guerrero is your new WWE champion.
Okay.
And you see at SummerSlam, I'm just saying this is at SummerSlam, because why not? Why the hell not? And Eddie's celebrating the fact that he's a WWE champion again for the second time. And then Shawn Michaels raises his hand, and then Shawn Michaels starts backing away. And then he taps Eddie on the shoulder and super kicks the living hell out of him.
The swerve!
The swerve booking of the century. Call me Vince Russo. And I would love this. I would spend probably $300 on that pay-per-view if it could happen.
Maybe 50.
I'm being realistic.
Oh.
I would spend that much money to see Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels in a ladder match. I think it would be that good.
You heard it here, folks. She would spend $300 on a fantasy pay-per-view, but
that
not
would never
on a better
happen.
poncho.
What's wrong with my cat poncho? All right, James. I'm challenging you to top that storyline.
Okay.
The edge of my seat.
All right. My number one is...
Oh, wait, you still have diarrhea.
A true ending to the long, storied feud
of
the cat and Terri.
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here!
I'm kidding. I would have loved to have seen a better fucking ending to Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston. I.e. Kofi not fucking losing.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I'm bringing it there.
Good, as you should, because that was not cool.
We should have gotten a storied run of a championship with Kofi Kingston. And we didn't get it.
Right. I mean, we got longer than some, but it also was not what it should have been.
It's like we had such a great build-up.
Right.
We were edged. We had such a great finale.
How fucking predictable would it be, though, to have Brock Lesnar? I mean, the writing was on the goddamn wall. You're going to Fox Sports.
But not even that. It's like, even so, I get it. He's the UFC guy.
Ugh.
Never watched it. Heard it's entertaining. Great. I don't want to see him in my wrestling.
It's like...
He's awful.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to have seen, if they're going to involve Brock Lesnar, anything that would have been better than just him losing and bring in some other UFC guy that I don't care about.
Right.
I would have loved to seen Kofi Kingston somehow win over him.
Right. Just seeing Lesnar with the title again over Kofi Kingston, who is like the most inspirational storyline of last year's WrestleMania. Something that I never thought I would see, but I was so happy to actually see it. And then take it away from me with the one person that I just don't want in the damn company.
Here's the thing. WWE, we're going to say this to you as friends. We're your friends. We care about you. We want you to succeed. We want you to be great.
I don't want to see you fall.
This Brock Lesnar thing.
To AEW.
It's gotta stop.
It's gotta stop.
We've gotta stop this. We don't want it. We're not upset with seeing him. It's not heat. We just don't like him.
He doesn't belong in the championship picture any longer. He's not a good heel.
Sis, look at her face. She don't want to be there. And you're wasting how much money on her?
Right. He's not a good heel.
Cut the cord.
Right.
It's like, do you think when they hear boos on Brock Lesnar, they think he's getting what MJF is getting?
No.
Like, I bet you that's what Vince thinks. Like, oh my God, they hate him. He's getting so much heat.
Yeah. No.
No.
It's the fact that it's X-Pac heat, for a smart phrase. We're just sick of seeing him. Like, and if you want to bring him back for the big, like, WrestleManias, fine. But I don't want him anywhere near that title picture. His time in the sun is done. It was done way before 2012.
I would like to see a collective protest happen, folks. Hear me out. I know it's cliche to stand up and turn your back to something. That would be too good for them. I say we're all a new millennium now. Whenever Brock Lesnar's music hits, we all just pull out our phones and go on Instagram.
Yep.
Because that's what I'm doing when he's on TV.
Well, Pornhub for me, but... Just saying.
That's my number one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for it. Get rid of Lesnar.
Yeah. More Kofi. I'm Jaymes Mansfield.
And I'm Sylvia Nix.
And now we are...
Wait. You've been watching Queens of the Ring.
Yeah. And until next time,
we're taking out.
That's how it went.
That's how it was. Oh, God. Just like old times.
All right, get out of here.
It's been 84 years.
Thank you for watching Queens of the Ring. Be sure and check out our other videos. And don't forget to subscribe to Queens of the Stream. Do it, or I'll pile drive you on some wooden planks.